What if I told you Lil Scrappy wasn't just betrayed? What if he was humiliated on an unimaginable scale, and not by some random side piece or internet stranger, but by the very woman he built his entire identity around? His wife, Bambi. The woman he trusted with his heart, his soul, and his career. And to make matters worse, the betrayal didn't come from just her. It came from her ex-husband. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment. Late last night, Scrappy's world came crashing down when his phone was hacked. Inside it, a bombshell, a recorded phone call. Not just some flirty texts or a harmless DM. No, we're talking full-on emotional cheating, whispered secrets, lying, deception, and one line that has now burned through the internet like wildfire. He don't even know I still call you every week. The words hit hard, don't they? Picture this. Scrappy, breathing heavy, eyes widening as he listens. The pain, the shock. You can almost hear it in the silence. He whispers, barely audible. So that's what this was? This whole time? And Bambi? She tries to laugh it off, a nervous chuckle to deflect the weight of her actions. But it's already too late. The internet didn't just hear it, they exploded. Screenshots, audio clips. Celebrities reacting, fans screaming. One thing became abundantly clear. She played him. This isn't just a messy breakup. It's emotional warfare. It's dirty. It's caught on tape. And what's coming next is going to end careers. So don't you dare blink. Because if you thought Bambi's drama reached its peak last season, you have no idea what she's been hiding. Not from Scrappy, not from her fans, but from the world. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's rewind the clock, not to last week, not even last month. Let's go all the way back, to when Bambi and Lil Scrappy were the so-called power couple of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. They were on red carpets, in confessionals, on family episodes. The perfect black love story. A narrative everyone bought into. People called them messy, but real. But here's the thing. Real was the first lie. Because what leaked from Scrappy's phone wasn't some old argument. No, this was a brand new nightmare. A raw, unfiltered, unreleased confession that exposed everything. And it started with one voicemail. Not a random spam call. Not a harmless friend checking in. It was Bambi's voice. Low, soft, almost seductive, and then the words that would break Scrappy's entire world. You know I only smile on camera, right? When I'm with him, the real ones still know where my heart is. Just like that, Scrappy's entire life came crashing down. Everything he thought he knew, everything he believed, was shattered. The man on the other end of that voicemail wasn't Scrappy. It was her ex-husband. The one she swore she hadn't spoken to in years. Scrappy, gasping, barely able to hold back tears, muttered, "Yo, what is this? Nah, this is some sick." And it only got worse. There wasn't just one voicemail. No, there were 7. 7. And each one was more intimate, more deliberate, more disgusting than the last. In one of them, Bambi jokes, "Scrappy thinks I'm over you. I just keep the lie alive for his mama." Imagine the pain. Scrappy, scrolling through his phone, hearing his wife's voice, knowing that everything was a lie. His entire marriage, his life, all of it, a performance, a business arrangement, a manipulated storyline. And the saddest part? The main character wasn't even him. It was all a show, a setup. By morning, that first voicemail had already been posted on 3 gossip blogs. Within hours, it was clipped, subtitled, and slowed down. It turned into TikTok's most viral sound of the day. Keep the lie alive for his mama. Fans began posting side-by-side comparisons, digging up old moments where Scrappy defended her. One user posted, "All that time he was clapping back for her, she was calling her ex." Let's not forget, Scrappy isn't new to betrayal. He's lived through the rumors, the lies, the backstabbing, but this hit different. This wasn't just about a fight or a flirtation or a shady DM. This was emotional warfare, cold, calculated, recorded, time-stamped, and documented. But here's where it gets even more twisted. The leaks didn't stop there. Oh no. Right after. The voicemails went viral. An anonymous Twitter account started posting screenshots from what looked like Bambi's burner number. Long, intimate conversations, love emojis, even location pins that matched filming days. Meaning, Bambi could have been texting her ex-husband while filming with Scrappy. You couldn't make this up if you tried. One particular message had fans reeling, "I just need to get through this last reunion. After that, I'm done playing wife." Think about that for a second, and even people who never liked Scrappy were starting to side with him. He didn't deserve that, they said. Because whether you liked him or not, Scrappy was always loyal. He stood by Bambi through pregnancy rumors, in-law drama, and full-blown cast fights. He was there, defending her name, even when the streets were whispering something different. And the saddest part? He kept trying to make it work. He kept fighting for her. Until now. Now Scrappy is sitting alone in a dark room, holding his phone, listening to the voicemail where his wife says, "You'll always have my heart, even if I have to fake a home with him." That was the moment. It all shattered. Insiders say that's the moment Scrappy called Mona Scott Young. Allegedly, the call was brief. Just 3 words. "I'm done. Period." And then he hung up. Mona didn't react. Sources claim she already knew the truth. She just didn't think Scrappy would ever find out this way. But when Scrappy heard it for himself, it was like watching a man get stabbed with his own trust. Trust. It was dead now. And this leak, this was just the beginning. By mid-afternoon, Twitter was in shambles. Scrappy Played was trending, and a second anonymous account, this one allegedly run by someone connected to Bambi's ex, posted a 30-second teaser. In the clip, Bambi laughs, then says, "Cold as ice. I had to marry him. That's how you get storyline security, baby." Scrappy's cousin reposted it with the caption, "Yo, this girl never loved my bro." Now the family was involved. Mama D, who had been silent for months, dropped a cryptic post. "Some of us tried to warn him. Energy don't lie." And even Erica Dixon, always quiet on the sidelines, posted a shady tweet. "Sometimes the wife is just a really good actress." The floodgates were wide open now. The scandal didn't just break the internet, it tore it apart. The entire narrative of Bambi and Scrappy, once the picture-perfect love and hip-hop power couple, crumbled in the blink of an eye. What started as a whispered betrayal in the form of voicemails turned into an avalanche of revelations, and the world was watching it unfold in real time. By now, the leaks had hit every major platform, and it was clear that Bambi's carefully curated image was unraveling at an alarming speed. The internet wasn't just watching, it was dissecting every piece of evidence. Fans were sifting through old episodes, interviews, and moments from the show. Scrappy, once the loyal husband, had been made the fool in a story that wasn't even his to begin with. It didn't stop with those initial voicemails. As the day went on, the world was hit with another wave of audio clips, messages, and shocking admissions. A second leak emerged. This time, from an anonymous account on Instagram, one that allegedly belonged to Bambi's ex-husband. This was the real story. Not the one they showed on the cameras. Not the image they sold to the world. It was all an act. And now, the ex-husband, a man who had been forced into silence for so long, was ready to reveal everything. On a YouTube livestream, his voice appeared for the first time in weeks, calm and controlled, but laced with years of suppressed resentment. "I didn't want to do this," he said. "But since she's acting like we weren't nothing, I guess it's time to set the record straight." The internet went wild. People flooded the chat, typing in all caps. They knew exactly who was speaking. It was him, her ex-husband. Then came the line that shattered any remaining illusion. "She told me Scrappy was just a prop. I was the real story." Boom. That was the moment the narrative flipped. What had seemed like a messy breakup turned into something far darker. The truth was out. Scrappy had been a tool in a story that was never meant to be real. The wedding, the baby announcements, the emotional therapy sessions. Every single moment they'd shared on screen wasn't love. It was a contract. a business deal. And the one pulling the strings? It wasn't Scrappy. It was Bambi. Fans could hardly process the shock. The second leak came swiftly, this time from a recorded phone call. In the clip, Bambi's ex-husband confirmed what we all feared. The entire relationship had been manipulated, from start to finish. He said, "Before they even got married, she told me straight up, I don't care if it lasts. I just care if it trends." Those words were like a punch to the gut. Fans began rewatching old episodes. Each tear, each hug, each passionate moment between Bambi and Scrappy now felt like a carefully rehearsed act. It was like watching a magician perform a trick. What you thought was real. It was all smoke and mirrors. But it didn't end there. Fans were now digging into old footage with a new lens. Every reunion, every confessional was now under intense scrutiny. And that's when the next bombshell dropped. A former production assistant, someone who had worked behind the scenes on Love and Hip Hop, leaked a series of screenshots. The messages weren't innocent. One of them, dated just days before an emotional reunion episode, read, "He's crying again, LOL. I should win an award for this episode." Scrappy's friends started pulling away, some even going live to express their dismay. Young Jock, a longtime friend, posted a cryptic message. "Sometimes silence says everything," before turning off the camera. And then, Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex, added her voice to the mix. She tweeted, "Some folks got love confused with opportunity." But the real gut punch came from Mama D. After months of silence, she broke her silence in a way that no one expected. She went live. No script, no filter. "I begged him not to marry her," she said, her voice breaking. "I saw the signs. But you can't teach a man love when he's drowning in hope." That's when the floodgates truly opened. Fans who had once supported Bambi now began turning on her. Her follower count plummeted by 30,000 in a single day. Even lifestyle brands quietly pulled her promotional tags. The tide had shifted, and it seemed like nothing could save her. But just when everyone thought it was over, a 4K quality video surfaced. This wasn't some blurry, shaky footage. No, this was crystal clear footage. It showed Bambi sitting comfortably on a plush white couch, sipping wine, laughing as if the world wasn't about to implode around her. The conversation was casual, unbothered, and then she dropped the bombshell. "I'm not in love with him. I love what we look like." She sipped her wine again, her smile never wavering. "Don't act like you ain't the real love story. You just didn't come with a contract." That was the moment the internet knew. This wasn't just messy. This was something far more sinister. Bambi wasn't just playing Scrappy. She was playing the entire world. The video sent shockwaves across the globe. People began posting side-by-side clips, comparing her cold demeanor with Scrappy's genuine heartache. One tweet read, "She was cold from day one. He was just too in love to notice." And the worst part? It wasn't just fans who were angry. Even former cast members were speaking out. VH1 was in full crisis mode. Emergency meetings were held. Scrappy's fans rallied around him, posting streams of his old music and rallying behind him. But Bambi? She remained silent. No apology, no denial, just a post from a beach resort with a caption that read, "Peace over drama, always." And of course, she turned off the comments. But Scrappy? He wasn't hiding. At a concert in Houston, mid-performance, he stopped. The crowd was cheering, and then he dropped the line that would stay with fans forever. "Y'all ever loved someone so much you didn't see the setup?" The crowd screamed, and Scrappy added, "Well, I see it. Now." He dropped the mic and walked off stage. The video hit Twitter within minutes, trending globally. The headlines were brutal. Scrappy finally speaks, and it's a mic drop moment. But this wasn't just about to end there. No, the story had taken a new turn. Legal documents were now in play. The leaks were being subpoenaed. The situation was escalating to courtroom levels. The next shocker came when an anonymous source revealed that Bambi's contract with VH1 may have had a clause that rewarded her for bringing high-level drama to the show. Every fight, every tear. Every breakdown was a bonus. Fans now felt like they had been lied to, manipulated for years, and they weren't just mad at Bambi anymore. They were furious at the entire network. Then came a chilling new piece of information. A local Atlanta journalist broke a thread connecting Bambi's brand to an alleged financial scheme. It turned out back in 2021, Scrappy had taken out a business loan using joint marital assets to support a joint brand Bambi was building. But leaked emails suggested that Bambi had already moved the brand to her name weeks before, leaving Scrappy to take the risk while she walked away with the profits. Now, this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about fraud, financial manipulation, and it had a courtroom-level impact. Within hours, Scrappy's legal team filed a motion to freeze all assets tied to Bambi's brand. The words in those court documents hit hard. Manipulation of marital identity for personal gain. Bambi's world was crashing down, and the ex-husband? He wasn't done. He dropped another recording. This time it wasn't a phone call. It was a cold, calculated message. "I don't care if it lasts. I just care if it trends." That's what she said right after the engagement. This was it. The final blow. The internet didn't just cancel Bambi. They exposed her. They dissected every clip, every leak, every confession, every tear. But the biggest bombshell came from Mama D once again. In a raw, unfiltered moment, she went live, tears streaming down her face. "I begged him not to marry her," she sobbed. "I should have trusted my gut." The emotional fallout was real, and people felt it. Not just for Scrappy, but for the betrayal that had unfolded on national television. Scrappy's fans rallied around him, even as Bambi continued her silence.